I hate to break the fishing news up, Yaremchuk, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down, Yaremchuk.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Episode 194 of the Real Life Podcast. As I choke on a bite of pizza and welcome in everyone to the pod. I've become like Jay. I eat on. Oh my God! Someone talk.
Let him choke. Let him choke.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone. Your host,
Tyler, you're Ramchuck. I'm 11.
I saw you take that bite, and I thought to myself, what is he thinking? Does he know the exact timing? Is he going to hit the post? And true Jay fashion, nope.
Man,
he's been doing this a lot though lately. He's on ON Radio on Fridays. He's got like a mouthful of fucking trail mix all the time. He's eating pizza. It's a whole. Man. Sometimes he leaves the room to get more stuff.
I've honestly, up until this little incident here, which I could edit out, but I'm not. I've been perfect at it. I've been very professional, but forgive me. I've been up since like 4 a.m. today. I had to work with Dustin Nielsen and that show, and then I did another show, and then I had to rush home. I got home like 10 minutes ago, and all I had the time to do was put this miniature pizza in the air fryer. So I'm running a little low, but that's okay. Episode 194 of the Real Life Podcast. As I was saying, Chalmers, you are in your truck. It looks like you were going golfing.
I am. I'm going out to the links right now to play a practice round with my nephew because he qualified for the under-19 championships this weekend, Alberta championships this weekend. So I'm going to go out there. We're going to play the course, look for the best places to land his ball, and read the greens and take some notes and try to get him as prepared as possible. And it's pretty impressive because he's only a 16-year-old kid, and he's really good.
Now, Chalmers, I've been playing golf with you since we were 14. I don't want to give you praise for anything, but you're an excellent golfer. In that time, I've never seen you hit an off-tempo shot. You're one of the best low-iron strikers I've ever seen. Can you beat your nephew?
So yes, we played twice last year and I beat him. This year we went out to my golf course and he's been practicing a lot and he said, this is going to be the year I beat you. I'm going low, and I beat him by 3. So today is going to be another test. It's a friendly competition between us because you can't let your 15-year-old nephew beat you.
I thought he was 16.
Yeah, first of all,
sorry.
He's got Benjamin 16. Button disease. No wonder he's so good. How old is he really? 80?
He's 16. He just got his driver's license. That's why I messed that up. But yeah, he's really good, but he still can't take down the champ yet. So we'll see what happens today.
When you
if he's coming to the golf course, Chalmers, in a purple CRX, doing e-brake turns to get to the tee time on time, wearing a Kangol hat and a tank top and 10 silver chains, I'll be impressed.
Nobody has that kind of swag, buddy.
You did. I saw you do that. Roll up an inner club and shoot a smooth 70, whatever the hell it was.
What's the 2020 version of that, what you just described, Wanye?
Roll up in a Tesla with 8 pairs of earbuds on.
Yeah. So he's good for a 16-year-old, obviously, competing at the under-19 division. What's he shooting? Like, what's good at that level? Like, what would he need to win that tournament?
Oh, to win that, under 19, I'm guessing there's some 19-year-olds in Alberta that can probably go real low, probably scratch. Probably, in tournaments, it's a little different. I know these kids probably play, and can be scratch golfers, but in tournaments, your nerves get a little heightened, and you got people watching, and, there's no fooling around out there. And so, I'm going to guess that, it'll be somewhere like 2 to 4 over, I'm guessing, is probably going to win this thing. Okay. If somebody goes under, then that's really impressive for a 19-year-old. When we were kids, there was a 19-year-old kid that played in Edmonton, and he pretty much ran it, and he was shooting under. He was shooting under. His name was Danny Saul.
Wearing Walkmans and shit?
Yeah, he was the first person to ever go out to the range with a Walkman on, and he would strap it to behind him. And this isn't a small Walkman either. This is one of those yellow Sonys.
Yeah, played VHS tapes.
Yeah, seriously. And he would go out there and he'd practice. And he now lives with Vijay Singh and is one of Vijay Singh's trainers. So
he's his caddy, isn't he?
He caddies. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, but he so he caddies for him. And they had this little quarantine team that they had to keep VJ tight in Florida. So he's carved himself a real nice career from a boy from Edmonton,
Hey, Jay, you and I know a lot about the junior golf scene, correct?
I'd like to say I know enough.
How do you think Andy Caniff will do this weekend? There's an audience of 3 who will laugh at
This
that joke.
kid, we would compete in these tournaments at like 15, 16, 17, and this kid was like 10.
He was
And
Tiger Woods, man.
Well, he thought he was, but he wasn't.
He had like a
Dad would
signature
follow
hat.
him around out there.
Dad would follow him around. He dressed fancy.
I was intimidated down to my toes by a 10-year-old as an 18-year-old. I was like, this kid's going to win the Masters for sure.
I would love to know where he is.
He's probably just like a normal guy and doesn't realize there's 15 junior golfers from 20 years ago.
He's still competing, and he was competing at the U19 this weekend.
Yeah, he hasn't aged a day.
How do you remember this kid's name, man? That was 25, 30 years ago.
I
that
used
was
to
memorable.
stare. His dad had a psychologist's office on 124th Street, and I could see an autographed photo from him to his dad in the waiting room. I walked by as a kid and saw that he had a... Yes,
What?
you could. It was to the right of the doorway. You could see from 124th. And one time I was walking by and saw the photo somehow, and I was like, oh my God, he has a photo up inside an office? He is Tiger Woods. And I would drive by and look at that photo for years on the wall.
I hope this guy's listening.
He is no longer with us. And by that I mean he moved to Leduc.
Oh.
He's still alive. He just moved out of Edmonton.
Well, he might listen. We have listeners in Leduc.
No internet in Leduc. No internet.
Just like there's no airport in Winnipeg.
So anyways, his favorite to win,
that's
I imagine. Old Andy Caniff. Good show.
You should see. Well, I'm excited to see it when I get out there because I remember there was not a big following and there was not many kids that used to play when we would play when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine there's going to be like flag pulls up everywhere, like on
swing
the
coaches and shit. Kids have entourages probably and apps helping them.
My nephew actually played in a tournament early this year in Florida. Like it's next level, man. These kids, like he's in that section of his life now where he's really got to focus on his grades. He also has a private coach that coaches him, and he lives in Calgary. Oh yeah, and he's on the path to be, getting himself a pretty good scholarship to go to the States somewhere. And I mean, it's just crazy because I think I've said this on this podcast before. But if we knew, I never knew that was possible as a kid that you could go to an American school as a Canadian kid if you just worked on it, right? And so we would go and we were good players as kids. But we never applied ourselves the way the kids today do.
Jay, what tourney was that when I was was it the Westerns when I was your caddy?
Yeah, the Western Canadians.
Yeah. And we're wearing jeans and neither of us had a yardage book. It wasn't a professional operation.
Where was that one?
Sturgeon.
Oh, do you remember the one at Indian Lake? God, I remember that golf. I love that golf course. I think that was the Alberta Junior Juvenile. That was a blast.
I remember one time being 14 and I went to the Victoria driving range for some sort of weird kids tournament, and a kid my age cleared the back fence of the range, and I was like, well, I'm going to go home and learn a new sport because the children today are too strong.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing, I'm going to actually follow this tournament this weekend. I would like to see how I would do against these kids as a 40-year-old man who's pretty much leisurely drinks way too many drinks when he plays golf and usually folds up at about 15, 16 because I get a little shaky.
There's two kinds of people at a golf tournament like that, Chalmers. They're either cheering for the kids or cheering against them, and I know every kid you watch hit a ball, you're sizing up.
Absolutely.
Chalmers, how often will you still break par?
Oh, I haven't broken par in years. My best round isn't even I've gone under par on front and back nines, but not consecutively.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my best round ever. I scored. I played 2 years ago, and I was 2 under going on to 18, and I doubled for a 71.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it got to me, man. It's awful. It still haunts me, and people were like, 71, that's amazing, really good job, and I was pissed. I was mad, man. I could have gone under, and I fucked it all up.
It's weird watching you play golf, Connor, because you're never out of play. You're always just in the fairway. You're always in the green. It's all very boring. There's no swashbuckling. You're never making recoveries.
It's not like JR who hit the ball so toweringly high. You'll never, if anybody ever gets the chance to play with JR, he hits the ball so high that if he's a fairway over, he'll be in play, and he can just go over the trees and back to the green, and he hits some of the most remarkable recovery shots. So
he plays for the viewer, Chalmers. He plays for the viewer, whereas you do not, because you're selfish. And you always want to be in play, and you always want to get a gur, and you never want to chip in, and it's always tight play.
See, we were so lucky when we were kids because we lived close to the golf course and we could ride our bikes. And so what we would do is we'd play like 140 rounds a year.
What?
We'd go and we'd be the first tee time out at like 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we would finish our round, and then we'd go into the clubhouse and we'd have lunch. At that time when we were a kid, you couldn't play. You could play before 10 and after 5. So we'd play before 10.
Time to kill for a few hours.
And then we'd go. We'd go play crib, or we'd go to the driving range, or we'd go do tests at like 5:15. We'd be playing like 2 rounds, and it was like we were so lucky, man, to have that, because it probably kept us out of a lot of trouble. We were at the golf course almost every day.
100%.
That's insane, man. I wish I could golf 140 rounds a year.
That was strictly between like the age of 13, like 17, 16.
Yeah.
A little bit longer. We kept it going a little bit.
Not that much, though.
Not like that much. No.
Once you could start partying. That muddied the waters a bit.
I remember Chalmers one time. Remember how we would clear our crib tabs at the end of the month?
Oh, yeah.
Being like stressed how much money I owed you at the end of the month, and like making sure I had my cash, and then being like, this month's a new month. I'm going to kick his ass, and like lose $3 on the golf course, $5 upstairs, and be like, shit.
Look, man, the stats we used to have on the lockers. We tape like these running totals of crib debts. We'd have chipping competition debts.
Yeah.
We'd have like our skins debts, and it was just like
it's like my retirement.
We're not all better accountants. Yeah. Seriously.
I'm like, well, I can always rely on my locker money.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good times.
And now these kids have swing coaches. They have no fucking clue.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, going golfing out to the lake. Good night.
Well, I asked Chalmers why he was in his truck, and it turned into 12 minutes of podcast content. That is good stuff.
Sorry.
That is what I know. That is what I like about this podcast. You can throw an innocent-looking topic out there, and it'll stretch. Wanya, how often do you golf? Do you still get out a few times a year?
At the moment, in the past little while, I'm not in the mix. But back in the day, I kept up.
Yeah.
That's how I met all these cats. Was golfing. So all my buddies that I had when I was in high school and into university, they weren't from school. They were all from golfing. It was awesome time.
Yeah.
Man learned to play golf. Man learned to become a man. You know how you do.
I would say that we should do some sort of real-life golfing day. Maybe we record the podcast while we golf. But I'm terrible, and I don't need to embarrass myself like that.
Well, it's not about how hard you are.
Okay, so in my life now, like when I go golfing, I try very, very quickly to ease people from getting too stressed out, because I know how it can be stressful going golfing with people who have played their whole life, and I don't want to be that jerk off. I want to be the guy that's like real fun to play golf with these days, because I went through a stretch probably about 14, 15 where I wasn't very easy to play with, and I learned very quickly.
That's when I knew you were in your heyday. It was good times. I always enjoyed the show, but it was quite the show.
Yeah, it was quite the show.
How so?
I was a little bit of a hothead, you know.
He'd threaten us with violence. Allow me, Chalmers. I'll answer this. Jay, maybe you can weigh in. He'd throw his clubs. He'd threaten us with violence. He'd lose his ever-loving shit and not talk for 20 minutes. I can remember being like, I'm probably going to get into a fight with Chalmers if he misses his putt.
He'd get mad at us for breathing in his backswing.
Yes, I would. But
you were good, though. You were a good player, so it's okay. You're temperamental, but you delivered.
But see, that's why I never won. We only had a junior club championship, and then we had a junior of the year, and I think you guys all won a junior of the year. I think I never even sniffed it, and JR won junior club championship a couple times. I think.
Twice, yeah.
Then there was the year he fucked me over, so I couldn't win, and then I stole the trophy and still have it. One of the first times getting seriously drunk. Was it the last year we were allowed to be juniors, Jay?
Oh, something like that.
I go out and career. I'm by no means a good golfer, and I career some way to the first round lead. And then Jay was like, you know what we got to do is stay loose. We should go out tonight. And this is in the beginning of going out. And I shot 100 the next day and threw up in a sand trap.
Jesus.
He took you to water. He didn't make you drink it.
We went to Cowboys. That was even better than water. But then what I did was I stole the first flight championship trophy, which I still have.
That's not good.
So champions are made. Not good. Give me a break, Chalmers. Everybody else in that junior tournament's dead of natural causes.
The only time I've ever embarrassed myself on the golf course is at the last nation tournament when I golfed with Japa. And I wasn't drunk or anything. I just legitimately golfed worse than I've ever golfed in my life. I golfed so bad it was embarrassing. I couldn't hit a drive more than 50 yards. But you know what? The guys from Japa, they were great about it. And they understood I was having a bad round. And they still made it fun. Because that's what you get at Japa. Actually, I don't know where I'm going with this. But Japa, they do give you service with a smile. JapaMachinery.com. Check them out now. They are the #1 sponsor of the Real Life Podcast. Who's listening to music right now? That's cool.
What are you listening to music while you're on a podcast?
Well, I had to create some kind of sound distortion. I decided I was sitting in the office. I should probably go outside and enjoy this beautiful day. So I got up and now I'm walking outside the sun. Anything you can do to get
moving around and make that microphone sound like crap.
Yeah.
You were sitting in a quiet, noise-controlled office, and you went, you know what? I'm going to go see if it's an absolute wind tunnel outside and drive the producer of this podcast absolutely bananas.
It's not that bad, is it?
No, you're not bad right now, but one gust of wind and I'm going to lose it.
Holy shit. This is why you can't golf your Chuck. Golf teaches you to calm down when you're under the gun. Right, Chalmers?
Oh, yeah.
You can't be stressed out and golf well. You have to teach yourself to calm down. It's one of the best things about it.
I've been golfing a good amount this year, actually. I'm proud of myself.
The thing about this practice round is I do tee off at 1:50. So I'm going to be arriving at the golf course in around 7 minutes to 8 minutes. And then I'm probably going to have to do did we still do the pop-in? What's the sponsor for the pop-in?
No,
so
we don't do that.
Pop-out.
The Oodle Noodle pop-in?
Yeah.
Sure.
A Noodle pop-out.
Yeah, brought to you by Spring Rolls.
So, I don't know, is there any hot button topics you need my quick opinion on, or?
Yeah, there's a few of them we can hit quickly here.
Let's do one.
Of course, whatever Chalmers needs.
I feel like, I'm telling you, it's called I don't even know what it's called, but I'm telling you what's going to happen, man.
I like that it isn't you have something you want to say, is that you want to just get to the fucking gist of the matter and be asked for takes.
Oh, I got stuff I want to talk about, like Bryson DeChambeau.
What are any of those words?
Yeah,
that is a profession.
Yeah, let's get into DeChambeau, because I had to talk about this on the radio today and keep it PG. But holy shit, Bryson DeChambeau is such a massive piss baby. And I say massive now because he's jacked as hell and he's really good at golf. But, like, fuck, man. You shot bad out of a bunker.
What happened?
So this golfer, Bryson DeChambeau, won this weekend, won the tournament. He's probably the most talked about golfer on the tour right now. But he wins the tournament. But during the final round, or the third round, he basically had a bad shot. And then a cameraman who was not like a paparazzi, like someone working for the broadcast, followed him basically straight from the bunker to his next tee off. And DeChambeau got pissed and was like, why are you following me so much? And the guy's like, you're leading the tournament and you just had a bad shot. Like, obviously. And he was all mad because he's like, these cameras are following us too much right now. And what if I get mad? I'm vulnerable. It could be bad for my image. And it's like,
and
dude.
His brand. And his brand. And basically this cameraman is doing his job.
Yeah.
You're in the mix. You're top 5 in this tournament. And because of the way that you've positioned yourself this whole season so far, talking about your workout regimen, hitting 330 in the air bombs, this guy is polarizing right now and people want to watch him. So, of course, they're going to have a cameraman on him. So the cameraman does his job, follows him, just happens to, be there for this bad shot, which he should have been. And Bryson's basically saying that, you know what, on an overall for all the cameramen, they should not be following us when we hit our bad shots. They should not televise our reactions because it could damage me personally. It could damage me as a brand. It is literally the biggest piece of baby bullshit I've ever heard.
We're getting an idea of your brand, whatever your name is. Your brand is bitch.
He's always had a problem with people. People are always constantly getting in his mentions. He's, before his backstory is he would always take a long time. He would take 90 seconds from the moment he stood up to his shot, like stood behind his ball, and then he would go and he would take 90 seconds. And it was his pre-shot routine. Well, that's a long 90 seconds. And guys were like, dude, you're killing us. Like, you can't be doing this. But he's also the very first of, like, the really analytical young guys, where they come in and they're using calculus to talk about to
He's a
think about
physics
golf
major, I believe.
He's a physics major, and he's he's got all the same length of clubs. Like, he's different, and it could be cool, but he is making it so unlikable, and I just don't understand him. He wants all the publicity when he talks about his diet and his weight, and he wants to hit these huge bombs, but he doesn't want them to show his bad shots. It's the crazy. Like, this is the one thing that I understand about him is he's just not very self-aware, and
No.
I don't know, like. He kind of just comes off as like a, young kid who's, been coddled his whole life and just acts like such a baby. I just don't get it, man.
Yeah, like for me, and his problem isn't even like, oh, don't show my bad shots. He's like, don't show my reaction to my bad shots. And it's like, are you that much of a fucking like hothead and can't control your temper that you don't like? Oh man, the whole thing is just stupid. But he's an interesting golfer. Like I said, the physics background and all that. For a while on the tour, he was putting like, what do they call it? Like side saddle or whatever. Like he would stand facing like his chest facing the flag and putt that way. All of his irons are the same length.
Yeah.
So like he does a bunch of
and
weird...
wood. Yeah, they're all like the length of a 6-iron or something.
Yeah.
And he wears 2 gloves and 3 pairs of socks simultaneously.
He's got a 5.5-degree driver. Everybody else kind of probably uses around an 8 to 9. So like he's so showy.
Yeah,
and then
it's all
gets
too
mad
much.
when they show him.
Too much.
Just a hypocrite, man. This guy.
Too much.
Okay, so I got your take on DeChambeau, Chalmers. I'll keep going through the list. I wanted to bring this up. For the Oilers and the Leafs, getting to play in their own home cities, do you think with empty crowds and with having to live in the bubble, there is a home ice advantage?
If they're living in the bubble, then no.
Yeah, what's the advantage? Just because they play in the arena that they normally play in?
If they're allowed to use their own locker room, is that too much of an advantage?
But like, I mean, obviously I've seen video of the Oilers dressing room, but like, what's the advantage? You get to play ping pong?
Well, they're not going to let just the Oilers use their own room and then the rest of the Western Conference have to swap out the other one. Well, they do.
Well, I think they're going to have different rooms set up.
But do the Oilers get exclusive use of their own dressing room? If so, it's a massive. Well, not massive. It's a mild advantage.
Yeah. Then make everybody get dressed in Ford Hall, and then their dads have to carry them to the rink just like in minor hockey.
We have to wear skate guards and walk across 104.
That's what I'm saying.
Get dressed in your rooms, boys. That would be hilarious. And yes.
But like, Tyler, though, for real, what's the supposed advantage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Like some of the advantages would be if Edmonton, maybe knows the boards in the rink more. People are saying that could be an advantage. The general atmosphere of just being in the rink and being more comfortable with your
barn.
But being more comfortable with your surroundings, like early on, they're saying that could give them a bit of an advantage.
Who's saying this? Who is saying this?
There's a piece up right now on tsn.ca from Travis Yost. It's been a fairly popular piece of discussion.
Well, that's interesting.
I could see
that's so minor. It's so minor.
Yeah, give me a break. To me, it's if the guys got to go home and sleep in their own beds and all that, then there would be an advantage. But they don't get to do that.
The only
in fact, I would say it would be more annoying that Connor McDavid is 20 minutes from his house and he has to stay in a fucking hotel.
Yeah.
So Connor McDavid can't stay at his house?
No,
they'd be part of the bubble. And that's why it's, I think, fair. The only advantage I think they'd have is they would know all the good restaurants to order takeout from.
Yeah, but most meals are going to be team meals, though, right?
No, but they have the ability to order like delivery orders and stuff like that.
It's a huge advantage, man. It's a huge advantage.
It's huge. You'd
being able to interpret a skip the dishes score correctly and order the top ranked Chinese food.
That's right.
Part of the advantage could be that Canadian players know what skip the dishes is, whereas American players might be like, "What do I use?"
Yeah, and they just starve because they starve.
Right.
Well, you guys
that's the advantage.
Did you guys talk the four on Nation Radio or Nation ON? You guys posted the 4 protocols for it, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty standard of what I thought it was going to be. I just don't understand why they're allowing them to leave the bubble. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't think it's going to be one bit of a home ice advantage at all.
Now, Chalmers, there's going to be a lot of bus transportation, and I know that was a big concern of yours early on.
Mm-hmm.
You think we're going to be able to hold it up? You think we're going to be able to deliver on it?
I sure hope so, man. I'll bet you anything there's some... Yeah, I like that they're going to Terwilliger to play, and they're going to be playing in like a rec center. That's super cool for me.
They are?
Like, oh, yeah. They're going to be using Terwilliger. And I think
Games in Terwilliger.
Practice.
Oh.
But I think it's perfect because like that's one of the only rec centers that you can shut off that portion of the rec center to the other portions of the rec center. So it's a nice containment there. But I mean, buses getting from the JW Marriott to Terwilliger. I mean, I hope they got their shit tight. That's all I know.
Imagine, Chalmers, they just decided to play down super fast and had games in all the community rinks at once. They're like, the Devils are playing the Predators at Tipton Arena.
Oh, my God. Santa Rosa? Yeah, Santa Rosa for a game?
Santa Rosa.
They need all four dress. Yeah.
The boys are in those tiny rooms at Bill Hunter.
Oh, yeah. They need like 3 dressing rooms for the whole team.
Yeah. Oliver Arena's hosting a playoff game.
You know what? There would actually be, to me, I know this is just land of make-believe, but there would be something charming about that, wouldn't there? If they got the cameras set up in a way that it was just in a minor league rink, the way everybody grew up playing, there'd be something kind of fun about that if they could actually make it work in a way that, didn't look like shit.
And there's a plaque there forevermore, like, in the pandemic of 2020, Oliver Arena hosted Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Like, this is the year where everything is weird, so embrace the weirdness.
Yeah, see how far you can take it. Take your shorts off on your own podcast. What?
The other thing I saw today that is interesting, I doubt the league will let this happen, but I want to float it out to you guys. What if, to add some atmosphere to the arena, they gave every team a section in the lower bowl at Rogers Place, and if your team's not playing, you can go watch other games. Like if it's Calgary versus Winnipeg, McDavid and Draisaitl and the boys can just be like sitting in the stands watching.
Sick.
It's just like minor hockey tournaments.
Right? And I think that's what it would be like. You're talking about making it like charming or anything. Like having it so if there's a big game, there's like 250, 300 NHLers in there.
They'll be so bored. For sure they'll do that.
But is the NHL going to allow them?
Well, it's in the bubble. They're allowed to stay in the bubble. I think that's fine.
If you're allowed to play a team on the ice, you should be allowed to sit one section over from them in the arena.
It'd be interesting.
They're all wearing their little tracksuits.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be just like a Bantam hockey tournament.
Getting autographs from each other? Oh, my God. They're getting autographs.
They can do what they do at the brick tournament, where after they all swap jerseys on the ice. Everyone can go out and swap jerseys with each other.
They should let parents into the bubble. Let active NHL players' parents sit in the upper deck.
Well, I'm waiting to see if there's... I'm waiting to see if there's any NHLers that are going to bow out, kind of like David Price did in the MLB, where he's just like...
Wasn't Carey Price being a bitch already?
Well, I think Carey Price is concerned about his infant children, but he's playing.
Yeah, so David Price, he bowed out in the MLB. He's just like, Tyler, I'm not a baseball guy, but he just got traded to the Dodgers, right?
Yeah.
So this would be his first season with the Dodgers. He's like, you know what, I'm out.
And actually, David Price has been in the news a lot. A bunch of MLBers have. David Price is due to make like north of 20 mil, and then you prorate that, but still, he's walking away from a ton of money. And also, when the Dodgers announced that they weren't going to pay their minor leaguers, David Price stepped up and was like, I'll pay the minor leaguers then if you guys aren't going to do it. And he's opting out because, again, his wife just had their second child. He has another young kid at home. Felix Hernandez opted out as well.
Didn't Mike Trout say he may not play?
Well, yeah, Mike Trout's been really vocal about the masks and stuff like that, too. There was that picture that kind of went viral of him rounding the bases at practice wearing a mask.
We've said it, man. Daft Punk helmet.
Yeah. My question to you guys. So we're going to have 24 NHL teams come back to play. So you times that by 30 players per team. There's going to be a lot. If I set the over-under at 9.5 players opting out, would you take the over or the under?
Under.
Really?
Over.
Yeah.
Why do you say under?
Because like I said, they're totally able to make their own opinion, but I feel like there's a solidarity there amongst like the PA side, the player side, that There will be a few. There'll be a few opt-outs, but I just don't think it'll be that many.
I'm going over. Dudes already made their money.
Yeah.
They've got the bulk of their money already in the bank from this past season. There's going to be guys that just, you know what? I could see some play-in teams, like say a team like Montreal. That, I mean, yes, they're in the dance or whatever, but they don't really have a chance at going that far. I could see some players on Montreal bowing out. So 9.5, I'm taking the over.
But they're bowing out because they think they don't have a chance to move on.
But like you could look at that and be like, oh, do we really have a chance to go that far? Fuck it, I'm just gonna stay home.
But what kind of message does that send?
Yeah, but if you're sitting
you could
there,
you could hide it under the guise of personal safety, though.
Yeah,
of course you can. But I'm just playing on the emotional side of all that, and that's why I think it'll be under.
I think there'll be enough. Like, I don't think we're going to see star players sit out. And I mean, David Price is far from a star player. He was back in his heyday. Now he's not. Felix Hernandez, star player in his heyday. Now he's not. I think we might get a bit of that in the NHL where there's a few guys, in their early 30s who have a young family, who have made their millions and millions, who aren't top 6 players or top 4 defensemen, who might just sit there and go, my wife's going to give birth potentially in the next month, or my wife just gave birth, and I want to be there for my family, not playing in some weird 24-team tournament locked up in Edmonton, which you can say what you want about people hating on Edmonton, but I think that's going to be the thought process for a lot of players. So I think we'll see.
You're thinking like, and I'm just using him as an example based on age, family, blah, blah, blah. Like a guy like a Mike Green. He's made a lot of money.
Yeah. He's a UFA. He might just sit there and go, man, I got a young family. I'm probably not even going to be playing every night for the Edmonton Oilers. Probably going to be sitting up in the press box or wherever they're told to sit if they're healthy scratched. I just think a guy like that might just go, you know what? I'd love to be there in solidarity and all that, but I'm putting the health of my family first. I'm not coming to Edmonton. And I think you'd have a real hard time faulting a guy for that.
So walk me through this, right? So I believe in everyone staying healthy and protecting your family. How can you say if you're going into a bubble and your family's staying back, aren't you protecting your family?
Well, you're not there.
They don't want to be away from them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reality. They are going to be away from for up to 5 weeks.
Bag milk. Here's what they should do. Bag milk. You ready?
Hit me.
In these unprecedented times, if a player on the roster doesn't play, they must elect as a team to play a 90s alumnus instead.
Oh, Sean Van Allen, you're in.
They bring them back, so they have to go contact all the 90s alumni and see who's still in good shape and who can they bring back. And Doug Waite could be playing with Connor.
Yeah, like Marius Tchaikovsky fly up the left wing.
He's still fit.
Fucking right.
Tchaikovsky rolls in, every hair in his head looks identical. He's still in game shape.
Peter Nedved rolling into town.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated.
The best.
Cover.
The 90s and today would be the motto.
That sounds like a radio station.
Yeah, and a wicked season in 2020 NHL.
That's what I'm saying, man. Embrace the weirdness.
Let Gretzky play.
Fuck yeah.
Be like, anybody who has played for the Oilers, we're going to have a new tryout. And everybody can play again for the 2020-2021 season.
Do you think, we're in fantasy land now. Do you think let's pretend 59-year-old Wayne Gretzky was allowed to play.
Yes.
Do you think that he could still be dishing pucks and making passes like he used to? Or is
the hands are still there?
You think the vision
mind's
maybe?
Still there. I think I think that last Heritage Classic, I think he doesn't play hockey that much. I think he's like, that was my last time. Because he's like, I'm not, people don't want to see what I am right now.
Here's what you do. You give them all stem cells, right? Yep. You get them ready for October when they have to come back. And you're like, open tryout, all Oilers alumni, free stem cells.
This is the world that President Kanye is creating.
If we're going to throw tradition to the wind, let's go for the best we can.
Gotta do it.
The Canadian, you're talking about just embracing the weirdness. The Canadian Elite Basketball League, Edmonton Stingers, right? # Stingers Pride. That league is doing a tournament. And to make theirs a little bit more interesting and intriguing, With 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they will turn off the clock. Time will not run anymore. Instead,
why? What's the point of that?
Did you play forever?
Yeah, it's like in soccer when they
we didn't think this through.
It's like in soccer when they had injury time. They have no idea how much is getting added or when it's going to end.
So let's say Edmonton is beating Regina 100-90, and there's 4 minutes left in the game. They just add 9 points onto 100 because that's the highest score. So the first team to 109 wins. Their idea is that every single game will now end on a buzzer beater.
Huh? What the fuck?
I don't even understand what you just said.
What are you talking about?
I don't even understand what you're saying.
You give both coaches slingshots.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they each get 3 paintballs a quarter. And they can fire it at players mid-play to direct the flow. Call it a coach's option.
I would watch that shit. I would watch that shit.
Let's adapt. Let's adapt to how the world is and make everything more hardcore.
It would
Think
be
about
like
the crowd, like the people watching, right? So the coach is raising his paintball gun. He's ready to fire. But then he puts it back down because it's not the time.
Ooh.
And it
comes and then it goes down.
There'd be a separate camera angle. So like when the coach reaches for his paintball gun, we should be very clear on that, not real guns. He like brings it up. Automatically, a little thing in the corner shows him, and it's sponsored as well. Like sponsored by Phoenix Indoor Gun Range.
There's like a 70-foot screen, and Kim Kardashian is on screen at all times, and she can overrule the referees in the event of an incorrect call by just thumbs up, thumbs down.
And at any time, she can throw a second ball into play.
Yes. See? Basketball is safe.
Can you imagine if hockey did that? And it was like, what was the game? It was like that NHL 3-on-3 arcade that EA had like back in 2007. It was a long time ago. And at random points, it's just like a second puck is thrown into play. Can you imagine if the NHL did that? 3-on-3 overtime, but there's 2 pucks going.
Oh,
Connor and Leon would be unstoppable.
They would they would have both pucks going down the ice, just simultaneously passing it back and forth to each other.
Imagine if you had 2 pucks on your stick and could score with both pucks that counted for 4 goals. Of course. Connor could do it. I bet you Connor could have 2 pucks on a penalty shot and score with both pucks.
In the last 10 minutes of every qualifying round game, goals are worth 2. How about that?
They'll be like, man, that pandemic, that game got way more interesting.
3 minutes to go. Edmonton's down 1. McDavid bursts up the ice, fires one home. All of a sudden, they're up 1. Like, wild shit.
Yeah.
You get a power play when goals are worth times 2? Damn.
And then the Blues have to select one player to get COVID on purpose.
There was and I have no idea. I'm going to preface this by saying I have no idea if this is real, but in my heart, I hope it was. There was a thing going around Twitter the other day that it was supposedly an inside look at Connor's house. And if it's actually real, dude's got great taste.
Is it not? Well, Lauren does.
Yeah, no, that's his house.
Was that? Did you see the video I was talking about?
Yeah. Because if you follow Lauren Kyle, you've seen all those photos already. Like it's part of her like portfolio because she's an interior designer.
I love that he's got like paintings of Muhammad Ali and stuff up in his house. It's the best.
Can you send this to me?
I'll see if I can find it again. Yeah, absolutely.
Or send it to all the listeners as well.
Send it to me and I'll tweet it from the real account.
I think Connor's house is nicer than Drake's. Bag milk?
Oh, no doubt.
I honestly do. Drake's house is nice, but it looks weird. Connor's house isn't going for it like that is.
I really want to see this now.
But like, you know what? If you had like, I'm looking for it right now, Tyler, so I'll find it. But Drake, though, he's got so much money that he could do some fucking absurd shit in his house.
Don't get me wrong. I love Drake. I love the fact that he went for it. His house is beautiful. In the pantheon of super houses, where both are 10 out of 10, I still pick Connor.
It would be really nice and understated, but there's cool shit around. And
I didn't see any photos of Connor. Yeah, there's no photos of Connor in his house, is there?
No.
Drake's house is like a Drake museum.
Is it really? I don't know. Like I've seen like one of those kind of real estate fly through things of Drake's house, the one in Toronto, but I've never.
He's an architectural digest. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and there he has that one room that's like all the sports jerseys he's been like gifted or whatever, and it's fucking sick.
He's got one room with all his like MTV awards and shit.
Yeah. He also has like a vault in his house where he just keeps stacks of money.
Yes.
And was it the Rolls Royce where the little owl emblem pops up the top?
Mm-hmm.
Nasty. Just nasty. Okay. We're at the 2/3 mark of the podcast. So I have a hypothetical for you guys. This is one of the listener questions. Someone tagged me in this and said we should talk about it. There was a thing going around Twitter that was a basketball court, and you basically get a handful of options. You can do a layup for $500,000 or for $50,000, a 3-pointer for like $1 million, and it kind of went like that. So I want to convert it to hockey and know how confident you guys would be doing this. You got a stick, you got a puck, you're playing for a cash prize, just an empty net. So it's not like you need to hit a target, just put it in the net. If you make the shot from the crease, you get $50,000. If you make it from the blue line, you get $100,000. From the red line is $200,000. From the other end of the ice is $1 million. Which one would you take a shot at? Do you take the automatic $50K unless you're Patrick Stefan? Do you go to the blue line for $100K because that's a pretty safe distance? Or do you risk it end to end for $1 million?
I go from the top. I go from the top of the Sportsnet lounge and try to win a bill. That's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say I have 70% certainty from the opposite red line, and I could hit the net.
Well,
from goal line to goal line, you think you could?
Yeah.
70% certainty I could do it.
Wow. That's pretty, yeah. I would feel pretty confident, too. I'm going for the millie.
NHL-sized rink, though. Like, that's a long distance there.
It's 200 feet. Like, but, like, that was a thing. I remember when I was a kid, I used to just sit there and fire them all the way. Like, I feel, like I said, it's been a minute, but 70%, I feel 70% confident I could do it.
With that on
like,
the line?
We're not talking about going through, like, a little hole, right? Like,
no, just empty netter.
Yeah, Go
really?
big or go home.
I don't think
I
nerves
feel
included,
way more
I could nail that.
confident. I feel more confident going goal line to goal line than trying to make a 3-pointer for $1 million.
Really?
Like, I would choose in the basketball one. I would definitely try for the 3-pointer for $1 million. I wouldn't do the half court. But in the hockey one, yeah, I think I'd go full length.
I'd tell you, like, I feel so much more confident that I could hit an empty net from the opposite side of the ice than I could hitting a 3-pointer on a 10-foot net. Like, it's not close.
Yeah.
To me, like, I may go, if this was the NBA style, I may go half court because I feel like I would have just as much luck hitting from half court as I would from hitting a 3-pointer.
For me, like, if you actually presented me with these options, I would have a hard time doing anything other than just the bare minimum 50K option. Because if I miss, I don't think I would forgive myself.
That's true.
This is why you can't golf for shit, your M-Chuck.
Exactly.
But what if you make it? What if you make the $1 million shot? Then life is taken care of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like $50,000 is a lot of money, but that's not life-changing money.
I don't need life-changing money, though. I think I just need $50,000. I don't know. I honestly think I would beat myself up so mentally if I missed that, like, having to go through that, I just don't even want it.
How are you crumbling in a theoretical situation?
I'm
just lie to
sweating
yourself.
thinking about it.
Lie to yourself, Ramchuck. This is how you build yourself up. You're like, of course I'll make that shit. Like, there's no possible scenario here where you could be proven wrong.
And
bravado, my friend.
What if you take the $50K, Ramchuck, and you're just like, okay, you bang it in from the crease. That's an easy one. But then you just think, fuck, I should have at least gone to the blue line.
I think I might go to the blue line.
Center.
I think I would have gone blue line. I don't think I'd go center, though. Like
if I'm at the blue line, I'm clapping it in.
Yeah, as you should. Like a nice hard half clap.
Well, I'm going full clap.
You're Ramchuck. You're going from the guy who's scared to do it from inside the net to now saying he's going to take a clapper from the blue line.
No, I would do blue line in hockey. In basketball, like the option was layup for 50 or free throw for 100. I don't trust myself to make a free throw.
I don't trust myself to make a fucking a layup. So that's why I'm going full court. Or half court.
I'd go full court, hit it for maximum money, then walk up to the hottest celebrity of the game, female, thank you, drop to a knee and propose in the same motion. And then be like, oh shit, that guy just proposed to Halle Berry or whoever is courtside. B. Arthur, perhaps?
B. Arthur loves basketball.
Well, I just won $1 million. B. Arthur, will you be mine? She's like, of course, you're hot. I'd be like, shit, your Amtrak wouldn't even have the nuts to dream the scenario up.
That's right.
No, I wouldn't.
50 grand ain't gonna get you B, Arthur.
No, meanwhile, me and B. Arthur have floated away in a hot air balloon, and the camera's like, this all happened in 45 seconds.
Wasn't that the case in that, like, a few years back on that CFL thing where a dude punted or kicked a 50-yard field goal for $1 million?
Yeah, I remember that.
He did?
And
He booted it right through.
He did not look like the type of guy who would nail a 50-yard field goal.
And he made $1 million.
Yeah, CFL kick.
Oh, man. I hope that guy's life turned out good.
I hope so, too, man.
I hope that didn't ruin him. I hope I didn't ruin his day.
He just fired a laser beam through the uprights, too. Like, he booted that baby.
50-yard field goal. You need a fucking leg and a half for that.
Wendy's kick.
What
for
do you
$1
feel
million.
more confident in?
Oh.
Sorry, I just had that. Wendy's kick for $1 million. I believe it was back in 2011 because that's when this video was posted. But there was also the moment a couple years ago where they also do a thing where if 2 kickoffs are both returned for touchdowns in the same game, they get $1 million. The second one was in the process of being ran in. This lady named Karen from, I believe, Winnipeg.
Oh, Karen.
Poor Karen.
Yeah, it's been a rough go. They're about to run back the second one. Egregious penalty call. Like an awful, awful call. Costs her the $1 million prize. She ended up out of it because everyone made a big stink online, obviously. She ended up getting a bunch of shit. Like they flew her family. She won a $25,000 entertainment system. She also got to like go to the Grey Cup and bring her whole family. She got like groceries for the rest of her life, like a bunch of stuff out of it. Anyways,
inside job?
Maybe.
Sounds like an inside job.
Imagine you could have a contest for Karens where the prize is using the resources of Safeway or whoever sponsors it. They ruin her worst enemy's life. And they're like, oh my God, they destroyed her credit. Oh no, they keyed her car. And then they just have a camera on Karen as she's watching in delight as they do that for her.
Karen would enjoy that.
Your Amtrak, would you watch that show?
Watch what show?
Oh, you're new to the podcast?
Yes.
The scenario I just described in vivid detail, 4K.
No, I was getting my buttons ready. I did not even listen to that.
How is it that the person on earth who dislikes this podcast most somehow is in charge of interrupting it and not listening to it?
It's just what I do.
What buttons are you getting ready?
This one.
I think he's putting on his good church suit.
Because I wanted to talk
You're
about Big
forgiven.
Brother.
You are forgiven.
I'm excited.
Big Brother 20 All-Star Edition.
Oh, the best.
Apparently
I'm
it is
excited.
happening.
This makes sense because this game is made for pandemia.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the article open on TMZ right now.
Perfect.
So apparently for season 22 of Big Brother, they were going to do the normal thing where they cast and they do all of that stuff. But then fucking coronavirus hit and they realized it's a little thing. They realized that finding new cast members would take too long under their normal time, the way they normally do it. So they decided instead to pivot to an all-star season because they know these people are already good on TV. They already understand the game. They don't really have to put as much time into finding people and explaining things. So it looks like we're going to get started here, at least pre-production, by the end of the month because they're going to get contestants flying out. Then they got 2 weeks in quarantine before they go into the house. And then from there, away we go.
Yeah, there was
So it's going to start in August?
Yeah, it looks like an August start date for Big Brother 22.
Oh, yes.
And like, okay, so I had it, now I can't find it. The potential of who the all-star cast could be. The one that drove me nuts was Paul coming back again.
Oh, give it to him.
Because this guy's had what now? Like, and I don't mind him, but this guy's
Give it to him.
he's had how many cracks at winning this thing? And obviously it's not for him.
But he was runner-up in back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
He's a Phil Mickelson of
Okay.
Big Brother.
But do you remember that second season when he was playing with all the newbies and like everyone was just in love with him? Like, I don't even know, man.
But now he won't be the big dog in an all-star
He
team.
won't.
So he can go in there and he can try to swing a dick around, but everybody's going to be like, whatever, man, I won season 8, fuck you. And they'll be like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I like it because everything is wrestling a little bit. People hated Paul.
Yeah.
They liked Paul. They hated Paul. People are going to talk about it. So it makes perfect sense. He's an easy one. Throw him in the house right now.
Is Swaggy P coming back?
That's
Swaggy C. Despite being, Swaggy P's a rapper. Despite being kicked out in the 3rd week of his season, this guy never goes away. He's everywhere.
That's true.
I saw him attached to one of like the rumor pages as I was doing research for this topic. But the part of me also looks at it and goes like, he didn't get evicted. Like he left on bad terms, presumably with like production and shit. So
remember how the Canadian Big Brother this season went to shit, right? Everybody was self-evicting and people were getting kicked out for threatening people.
Yeah, that is true. And then they just didn't explain it either. They were just like, something happened. He's gone now.
And then again, something happened.
Swaggy C was voted out.
Yeah, he was. Sorry, that's my bad. He was definitely voted out.
But didn't he manage to knock up his now wife on the show?
That's the story I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a kid. They're together, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question to you guys, you said Swaggy C. Is there anyone else from the history of Big Brother that you're like, damn, I want to see them back in there?
Well, tell me about what Mike Boogie did.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. You know who I would love to see in an all-star season is fucking Chilltown because they were the best.
Yeah.
However, but I promise you that Mike Boogie and Will Kirby will not be on the show. Dr. Will, he actually has a career, so he's doing his thing. However, Mike Boogie did get, and this is a headline that I got for you, Big Brother star Mike Boogie Malin arrested for threatening former Chilltown ally Dr. Will Kirby.
What? That's so un-Chilltown. What?
Oh, yeah,
so unchill.
There is no Chilltown here. So while Dr. Will Kirby and Mike Boogie created some of the most memorable moments in Big Brother history with their notorious Chilltown alliance, the two are no longer on good terms. After Kirby decided not to appear on another show with Malin, it was The Amazing Race, the now 49-year-old Mike Boogie started sending disturbing messages to his former ally, including threats on his family, resulting in his arrest.
Oh.
So Chilltown is no more.
Chilltown's behind bars.
That is disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the two remained friends post Big Brother. Around 2018, CBS contacted the former allies to see if they were interested in competing in The Amazing Race as a team.
Dr. Will is now a affluent surgeon. Mike Boogie is appearing at a local wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Will's got shit going on, man. He's like, all right, I did reality TV. Like, I won a season. I was back. Like, I do the little round table thing at the end of the year. Everybody loves it. And then that's fine. But yeah, so then Mike Boogie got dark and he starts sending text messages that are threatening.
Are they listed?
I don't have them listed here in front of me in this article I'm on USA Today, but it just says that the text messages were aggressive, threatening, to the point where Will Kirby contacted the police with screenshots.
And it was enough to get arrested. So, it was good.
Yeah, so unfortunately, no Chilltown.
I think they should make them settle it inside the house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see a season.
That'd be amazing Big Brother footage if they put them in now and they're like, real life, go in this house.
I'd love to see them do a season where it's all duos, like just a bunch of duos, and that's all the season is, just to see like which ones could last the longest and which duos would just completely crumble out of the gate. Like who's turning on who first? I'd love to see that.
Well, that's the best part about Big Brother, right? I love the conniving aspect of it. It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is supposed to be on the show?
I saw it rumored that Tyler would be coming back from a couple seasons ago.
Of course, curly-haired fella.
So handsome.
Yes, handsome Tyler. I saw Derek might be involved.
Ooh.
And
that guy,
he was the cop, right?
Yeah. And he was
that guy.
I'm fascinated to see a guy like him in an All-Stars episode, because in his season, no one figured out he was a cop. Like, he basically tricked everyone in the house to thinking he was stupid, and he was not. He was the furthest thing from it. So in an All-Star season, because he's clearly a really, really bright guy, but when everyone's on to you and knows what your shtick is, how can you change and adapt? I'd be fascinated to watch a guy like him. A guy like Ian, I think, was rumored to maybe be coming back.
Oh, fuck. Ian won because no one liked Paul.
Bring back JC. Is he coming back?
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Bring back JC.
Is he?
Isn't that a guy with his own, getting himself in his own kind of trouble?
Yeah, he's the only guy. He's the only guy making more money than Dr. Will.
So I found a couple of screenshots here from Mike Boogie to Dr. Will.
Jeez.
The one that got cops showing up at his door was a screenshot of Mike Boogie holding a handgun, allegedly, in my opinion, pointed at a picture of Will's wife's head from Google Images.
Ooh.
And that was sent to Dr. Will.
That is a showstopper, as we call it in the industry.
Yeah, allegedly, Dr. Will took the images and contacted local law enforcement as well as the FBI. And Mike Boogie was arrested and charged with criminal threats.
Yeah, so, that would
friends no more.
That type of action. Yeah, I can see it. I side with Will.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's got shit going on. He doesn't want to go in the Amazing Race. What do you want him to do?
I am now down a wormhole of looking at just like some a little obscure Big Brother characters. You guys remember Judd?
Judd.
Big Brother 15. He was a weirdo. Johnny Mac too.
Oh yeah, I remember all these people. Johnny
was he the dentist?
Remember, he's always. What was his like hand signal he always did? He had like a signature. Like, was he always doing peace in all the photos? Every time he would vote.
See, I got out of Big Brother for about a decade. So,
what?
Yeah, I did. I got tired of it, and I bounced out. And then because working at the Nation, Jay would be talking about it with some of the boys, and I was like, "Well, I guess I got to watch Big Brother now." And now I'm back hooked in it.
Go out hooking.
Absolutely. But what I wish that they still did on Big Brother is now everybody is like young and jacked, and there's like one old person in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need a better mix.
What about Cliff last year? He was amazing.
But like that's what I mean. Like there's
Cliff Hogg went deep,
and Cliff was my boy, but he was like the only old guy. I want an old person alliance.
See them
Golden Girls?
Yeah, I think you want to watch Golden Girls. B. Arthur?
Great show.
Flew away in a hot air balloon after I hit the $1 million shot, full court, your M Chuck. I just fucking sky hooked her and then was like, who's the hottest mama in this? We're going home, baby.
She's going to go get you $500,000.
Yeah. You want to go halfers on life? I said to her. She said, sure.
Hold my beer. Got to go with Big Brother.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy we got some Big Brother talk in. I missed having Big Brother talk. It feels like it's been a year since we've been able to talk about reality TV. I saw a thing here that just said production may be pushed back, but they're gunning for August.
So I got a list of some other folks that may appear. Derek Lavisser, you mentioned.
Yep.
Dan Giesling.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I still say one of the best episodes of Big Brother ever was Dan's funeral.
I still don't quite get what he was doing, but it worked.
It worked.
Casey Clark, who is the winner of season 20.
Yeah.
Tyler should have won that season.
Josh, who won season 19.
Paul probably should have won that season. Yeah, Pots and Pans, Josh.
Pots and Pans.
That season of Casey, that was probably the best athletic performance in all of Big Brother history in terms of just dominating.
Watching Tyler just win everything.
So Casey was unbelievable in all the physical competitions. Remember?
At the end, yeah. She
turned it on and won like 6 in a row.
Yeah.
So Paul was mentioned. Janelle from season 6, 7, and 14. Nicole, season 21. Devon
they should do a train wreck one where they invite all the most toxic people down and make them have a show of it.
Oh,
that would be great.
Big Brother After Dark.
Yeah, Big Brother Unstable, season 22.
Nicole, Nicole who's like hooked up with Vinny?
No, the Nicole who was in an alliance with Cliff.
Oh,
yeah.
And then the one other listed here is Devon Rogers, season 17 and 18.
I remember her, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. No JC, though, unfortunately, won you.
Yeah.
Balder dad. He's probably trying to clear his schedule. He's America's greatest action hero.
Jesus.
Just kidding. He's doing pornography.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
I kind of thought
really?
that's what you were hinting at, but I didn't
He's
want to
doing
bring it up.
pornography. I had to unfollow him on Instagram because I'm like, man, do I love Big Brother? And I was like, what in the hell is all of this?
I probably shouldn't have searched this. Yeah.
Bring back Haley too, but that's just for me being selfish because I loved her.
Yeah, All right. I think we got to wrap this up. We're getting to weird areas. Need to give some love to Japa. Their fleet, it's ready for... Someone is calling me. Ignore that. Japa's fleet is ready for rental season. Whether you're looking for daily, weekly, monthly earth-moving equipment rentals, Japa has you covered. Check them out, japamachinery.com or 780-962-5272. Shout out to Oodle Noodle as well. We love Oodle Noodle. I've been craving green onion cakes ever since I saw a green onion cakes meme today on their Instagram.
Bag milk, our work.
I just, you know what? After you sent me that meme, all I want is to order 55 green onion cakes. I love them.
We can handle it. We gotcha.
The excitement at the Oodle Noodle social media summits are Jay going, we should have photos of actual products. And I'm like, perhaps at first blush, yes. But in fact, 'tis the memes we love on Insta. Because they always win, don't they, Bag Milk?
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah.
It's not about actual food. It's about a lifestyle.
That's true.
All right, that's going to do it for another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Shout out to you three for sticking around. Shout out to Chalmers for coming, demanding that we give him as much attention as possible, and then leaving without saying goodbye. Huge respect for that move.
That's why I made the title of this podcast, Are There Any Hot Button Topics You Need My Opinion On? It's just, that was the most Chalmers, quote of the podcast.
Can you put whatever video it was that you wanted to see sent to you, can you put that in the thing so I can see it, and also the kick to win video?
Yeah, we can find the kick to win.
I'm having a hard time finding the McDavid house one, but definitely the kick to win.
Yeah.
Ooh, I might be able to find that tweak that was sent to me in a group chat.
Nice.
Yeah, send that my way, because I'll definitely throw that in there.
So if you want those videos, go to the article on OilersNation.com. Give us some clicks. Episode 194 of the Real Life Podcast is over.
Great job on making it through the entire hour of the Real Life Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast from.